Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of the GLC podcast. Let us reintroduce ourselves for the previous viewers. I'm your host, Riad, a gaming nerd and animator, as well as the visual editor for most of the content you see on the podcast. I'm here with Michael and Malachi, the other two members of this group. Introduce yourselves.
As Riad said, I'm Michael, an artist, game dev, and game tester, as well as an avid gamer. I'll be the co-host for a majority of the podcast, as well as the guy who works on a lot of the artwork and scripts for the podcast.
And I'm Malachi. I'm one of the anchors of this group. I am the guy that's responsible for the amazing audio and edits within this podcast. I hope you guys enjoy the new content and quality of this podcast this year.
Alright, now that we've introduced ourselves, let's get to today's topic. This episode, we'll talk about Minecraft and the Pale Garden, the most recent biome added to the game. For those who don't know, Minecraft is a sandbox exploration game, and recently, they've been adding a lot of new stuff for players to explore. The Pale Garden is one of those. With that out of the way, let's begin. As I said before, the Pale Garden is Minecraft's most recently added biome at the time of recording. And with this biome comes many new mechanics and a mob that's actually completely unique to the biome. That mob is called the Creaking. Michael, for the viewers, what is the Creaking?
So the Creaking is pretty much a sentient humanoid creature with a crooked body and glowing eyes. It's covered in vines and is very aggressive, specifically towards the player, and it ignores pretty much every other mob from what I can remember. Because it's so aggressive, you'd expect it to be a pretty big threat, but honestly, it's not too dangerous. The Creaking is almost invulnerable, and it takes no damage from direct attacks. It's also pretty fast when attacking, but despite that, it has one major mechanic that prevents it from being a large threat. This mechanic is similar to that of the Weeping Angel, which, when staring at it directly, causes it to stop moving. And on top of that, it actually doesn't deal much damage.
If I remember correctly, the main way to defeat it is by destroying the heart, right?
Yeah, I think it's called the Creaking Heart. It's a block that spawns separately from the Creaking, usually in one of the trees, and that's where the mob actually spawns from. Only one Creaking can spawn from a heart at a time, and the block can only generate between two pale oak blocks.
Isn't there a bug with a block?
Which specific one?
The one where you can get an immortal Creaking?
There is actually. I don't know if they passed it or not, but there is or was a bug where if you took the Creaking away from the heart and unloaded the chunk where the heart is while the Creaking is still alive, it will not be able to check if the heart is still there, keeping the Creaking alive pretty much permanently, unless it despawns.
Yeah, that's what I meant. If I ever find a biome, I actually want to try and get one. But if the bug is patched, then I just get a heart and place it in my base.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I would too. But anyways, we have to move on to the next topic.
And that's pretty much all the general info about the biome and the mob within it. And from what we know, I'd assume it occurs based on the biome.